Hello my beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel. I am so grateful for you being here. If you're new to the channel, my name is Katie Rose and I am a soul alignment coach, healer, all things spiritual, and I basically just want to help as many people as I can who get stuck in certain patterns and mindsets, and I love to help them dive in and reveal their truth behind all these layers and programmings and limiting beliefs and conditionings, and there's just so much. I love it all. So today I want to chat to you kind of about change, transformation, and that it's okay. It's okay to go through that, to heal, to move through these different versions of ourselves. And for a long time, I felt, especially within my business then, I felt almost ashamed of this constant change that I felt was going on, doing different things, putting different things out there, always changing things up. And I felt like I was giving out this energy of being scattered or chaotic and not really having a plan or knowing where I was going. Although part of that was true, I didn't really have a plan or really know where I was going. But I've come to realise it's not that I was scattered or chaotic, it was that I was healing. I was transforming, I was shifting energy, which then meant I got to realise who I really was past these layers. If you think of ourselves with all these, so many layers outside of ourselves, so many, and they come from our belief systems, from the conditioning maybe of our parents or the teachers or the people that we're around when we're growing up. That's a layer that just gets kind of placed upon us, because the way the mind works is that, say somebody says to you, you're stupid, so a teacher or a highly talented teacher would say that to you, or a friend says to you, oh my god, you're stupid, you don't even know what that is, then you're going to identify yourself as stupid. Enough people say it to you, it can even just be that one time. But if it is told to you again and again, you are conditioned into believing, I am stupid. So what you do is you take it on as an identity, and you take on another thing and another thing. And that starts to develop who you are, or who you perceive yourself to be, who you believe yourself to be at that moment. But it's not actually the truth. It's not really who you are. You are always whole, you are always loved, you are always innocent, you are always worthy, you are always enough. It is just our experiences and our sort of childhood especially that warps that idea, that makes us believe that we're less than. But it's not true at all. And I've really gone through this sort of transformation, and especially within my yoga teacher training, because it is a lot of inner work and recognizing this part of ourselves and working with the themes of consciousness and understanding that it's okay to experience all our emotions, anger, fear, all of that is perfectly okay. It's normal, it's needed in fact to experience all those things. But as we're growing up, say something happens and you get really angry and you're told, don't be stupid, get over it, then you start to think that you're not supposed to feel this. It's stupid to feel angry. You're supposed to overcome it in a moment. And that is not the truth, because emotions are energy in motion, right? So we are energetic beings, and we are constantly flowing with energy, and we are electrical beings, constantly pumping electricity around our body. And to me, kind of like electricity and energy are one and the same, just like sound and colours are actually the same. It's just different frequencies go from being able to hear them to then being able to see them and things like that. So it's the same with our emotions. They hold their own energy, their own frequency. What happens though is that we tend to get stuck in like one of them, and then it becomes a problem. Then we are causing ourselves suffering. So today I'm going off on one because I love talking about this stuff. I find it fascinating, and I hope you do too. But what I wanted to talk about as well is how within my business, because of I was identifying myself as not worthy enough, and what I came to realise recently, was that I was actually trying to get acceptance from somebody outside of myself. Everything that I was doing in my business, and I had no idea. This is how fascinating it is to me, but also how frustrating it can be, is that consciously you can feel in alignment, you can feel like you're healing, you can feel like you're doing all the right things, and that you're so in alignment and you're so amazing, and oh, it's going to be amazing, because this is where I was like in February. And then an unconscious programming. So our mind is like a computer. You can think of it having all these programs instilled based on past experiences. But what happens is it doesn't get updated. So we're just constantly running on these old programs. And what was happening with me is I was looking for this approval that I didn't know I was looking for. I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't know that everything I was doing was trying to get this acceptance and praise from somebody outside of myself, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me, because I truly thought I was doing it in such alignment and I was amazing, and I'm like, yes! And it makes me laugh now, that contrast, and now I can see it. And this is the thing, when it's unconscious, you don't know what's going on. It is just running a program. And then when it comes up into the conscious mind, it can be a little bit tricky sometimes to unpack it, because this felt like a massive one. In fact, it nearly took me out. In the month of March, I was on the brink of quitting my business. I was like, I don't know what is going on. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. Even though I just spent 3 months with a business coach trying to figure all this out and feeling like I had it all figured out. And I was like, yes, I know what I'm doing. We created a program which felt so good. I mean, even it still does. I love my program that I've created now that I've made some slight adjustments after recognizing all of this. And I created a mentorship and got to grips with like how to run a business, because I was treating my business as a hobby. I didn't have any structure. I didn't know how to do loads of things. So I learned so much in that 3 months, and yet I came out of it, and then I had a month of the deepest pain I have ever been through. Not in the sense of physically feeling pain, in like, it was like a soul pain. I don't even know how to describe it. It was so deep within myself. And I have been through a lot, okay? I have been emotionally. I have been through so much emotionally that I can recognize a lot. However, when it came to the month of March and I was working through this, and I was like, what is this? This is so painful. This is like nothing I've ever felt before, nothing like I've ever experienced before. And I cried so much because I just needed to release and let go. And then I was coming back to my meditations that I kind of fell out of because I was doing so much inner work, kind of questioning why everything was there. Where is the root of this? What is coming up? Why is this here? And I forgot to bring in that balance of like that grounding meditative energy. And as I did that, I had the phoenix energy coming up all the time. And I was taking on these journeys and all this path and this deep, deep wound. And that's the only way I can explain it, is like this soul wound. It was like gut wrenching in the way that it came through as well. And I just tried my best to flow with it as best I could and just experience it. And then this realization came up of I was always trying to please somebody else. Everything I was doing, like, and it came about because I was out with my husband and it's lambing time, so he was doing his work, going out checking the sheep, and I was with him and the sheep was running off, and instead of running to help, I just stood there and I did nothing. And my conscious mind was going, Katie, go and help him. Why are you standing here? But it was like I was frozen and I couldn't move. And I slowly started to realize, because I was like, why can't I do this? And it's happened so many times before in different things. And it was because I felt like I was always going to do it wrong. No matter what I did, I felt like it wasn't good enough. And I felt like if I tried to help, I would just make it so much harder and worse. And then my husband would get annoyed with me, and then I'd have to deal with him being annoyed because I can't do what he wants me to do. And all of this was going on unconsciously. I wasn't aware until this moment, standing in the middle of this field like a scarecrow, standing there like a bloody lemon, like, oh, what am I supposed to do? And after I had a conversation with my husband, and I was like, I've just realised that I feel like I can't help you. I said, I know I'm supposed to be trying to help you in those moments, but I froze, like I am unable to do that. And I recognise where it came from and where it stems from and how it's been created. So then I've had to say to my husband, anytime that you kind of think, Katie, why aren't you helping me, get stuck in. At the moment, I'm in this energy of, he needs to kind of give me permission, so I feel like I'm able to, that I'm allowed to in a way, and that it's okay. And he turned around and said, it couldn't have gone any worse than it did. And it was so right. If you'd seen it, it would have been like a comedy show. And from there, I've come back to everything that I do so that I can see where I'm trying to get this approval, because I feel like I'm not good enough, because I feel like I'm going to do everything wrong, that it's not going to be what other people expect, it's not going to be good enough for everyone, it's not going to be everything that they expected and desired. So then I give too much. I'm always giving and giving, and I kind of overwhelm people sometimes because I'm looking for approval, I'm looking for this satisfaction, this praise almost, because I've been looking for it from somebody for so long, and they have no idea. They don't know that I'm looking for this praise. They don't know that I'm looking for this acceptance. So now I work in a way where I change myself so that I can get this acceptance. But I kind of like almost not stopped, but I reduced a lot of what I did because I didn't feel good enough. Because I felt like this person was going to judge me for what I was doing, because it didn't align with their beliefs. It didn't align with what their version, their perception of the truth is. And because of that, I was changing my business. I was changing what I was putting out there. So I was serving from a place of lack almost. So in the last month, I have had to sit with my work, because so much of it does come out within my work in the way that this happens, but also in my relationship as well. And I've had to sit and recognize these things about myself, which is so uncomfortable sometimes to recognize these things by yourself. But when I've come back to sit with my business, where do I want it to go? If I took away everybody and everything, what would I be doing? What is my desires here? What are my values? What are my core sort of values that I'm not going to negotiate on? What is it that I want for my future? And when I've come to that space, I'm starting to recognize how I can serve in a way that is so true and in such an alignment with myself. And it comes from my own experiences. It comes from what I've learned from going from not being able to look after my children, not being able to like literally move around my house, to now feeling like I truly believe I have my entire life back now. I have a normal life, and I want to teach people that. I want to let people know that the mind is so powerful, that there's these programs running that you may not be aware of. And like if somebody came up to me in February and said, you have this program running, can you see that? Are you aware of this? I'd be like, no, I've healed that part. I've dealt with that part. That I wouldn't have accepted it because I wasn't ready to. And this is how the unconscious mind works. It will not give you something that you are not ready to receive, that you are not ready to deal with. So when it came up in that moment, in that field, I knew that it was okay for me to unpack that, to look at that, and then go into the rest of my life and see where it's filtering out into the rest of my life, so that I can heal that, I can move on from that and work moving forwards in a way that is very true to myself. And like for me, I've come to realize I want to help as many people as possible. I've known this for a long time. I didn't feel like I was good enough. So, and I know that I am because I've done what I've done and I've helped my clients already in the way that they've been able to get their lives back. So I know that I can, and I know the results are there. But when you're working in this inner world and this inner journey, there's still things that will always be there of these limiting beliefs, because these layers that I was talking about earlier, as you take one off, another is revealed. But it tends to be easier and quicker to work through each one. But sometimes, like I got to that month of March, and it was the whole of March to work through that. And that was because it went right back to my childhood. And I didn't outsource, I didn't get a coach in, I didn't do anything where I could have had that extra help to be able to work through it. I just did it bit by bit myself. I worked through, I know the tools, I know how to do it, I know how to move through. If I felt like I got really stuck, then I could move forwards. Like I've actually booked a session with one of my yoga teachers for next week so that I can keep moving through, because I feel like I'm at a bit of a block now and I want to keep moving forwards. I want to keep moving that energy, those emotions, that energy, emotion, keep moving it, keep flowing, keep allowing this energy to clear up space, because ultimately I've been holding on to all of this for so long. And now that I've actually gone through that, and when I go to post, when I go to create something within my business now, I just check in with myself first. Am I doing this because I'm trying to get acceptance from somebody else? Am I doing this to please somebody else? Or am I doing this because this is what feels good to me? This is what feels aligned with me. This gets me excited for the future. And this is why I'm gonna, like at the moment, I'm slowly delving into the world of membership. Like this is the way that I can reach more people. And with the way that things are at the moment and all these bills being increased, because I know myself, like we are struggling sometimes to pay our bills because of all these increases. And I understand that people can't afford this one-to-one personalized sessions with me, but I have this craving, this mission, this need, because I'm in human design, I'm a projector. I'm here to serve others. I'm here to really educate and open people's minds. I know that's what I'm here to do. And for me to be able to do that, I need to find a way where I can really connect with more people, but also make it so that it's affordable for them. So this is going to be my way to be able to be in alignment with myself, do something that feels so good to me, bring everything that I know and do into one space instead of feeling like it's all bitty here, there and everywhere. I want to bring everything because I know the power of interconnection, of everything being connected, everything, our mind, our body, our soul, our spirit, everything comes together as one, and you need all these different things to bring the most powerful transformations. And this is why eventually I'm going to be creating, I don't even know the name of it, it's Sacred Alchemy Membership. Like it's already there, and that's how I know it's supposed to come about, and I know it's going to be something that is so powerful moving forwards because it's already there. This membership is the first thing that I've actually created where it feels like it's flowing already, and I haven't even just figured out how to actually put it out there yet. But so I know that it's in alignment. I feel it within myself. I feel that pull. I feel that truth. So it's okay to change where you are or what you're doing because it feels right to you. You feel that alignment. You know it's your truth. It's that knowing. And kind of circling back to the beginning of the change and the transformation, it's okay if you are changing things up all the time and you're finding yourself within it. And it's about trusting in yourself in those moments and not allowing those doubts and those fears to creep in because the ego is trying to protect you. Saying, no, stay in your comfort zone, because you know, your ego knows you're safe there because it knows your patterns, it knows the way that you work. So while you're in your comfort zone, nothing can hurt you in the ego's perspective. Whereas if you step out the comfort zone, ego doesn't know what's coming next, so it doesn't know how to protect you. Therefore, fear steps in and tells you it's safer to stay here. And this is why if it feels right to you, even though it may be scary. Like, I feel almost like, I feel a fear at the thought of doing a membership, because it feels like a big daunting thing to take on. But everything in my being tells me it's the right thing to do. So if you are in that space and you know that you're in a situation, or you're in a workplace, or you're in a relationship, or you've got certain friends that just aren't aligning with you anymore because you have changed, because you have shifted and transformed and you've been through healing, then that energy is no longer aligned with you. It's a different frequency to where you're at. And it's okay for you to then move on and find new people or new situations or new jobs that do feel in alignment to you. And the best way to know that is yourself. To tune in with you, where you are and what feels right to you. And that's a practice. Cultivating awareness is a practice that you do have to do every day. You have to bring in a form of routine that is going to be able to allow you to kind of train that muscle in a way. And when you do that, the more that you do that, then the easier it becomes to recognize and identify the things that are in alignment with yourself and aren't. So that's what I just felt like I needed to share today. I hope this helps somebody out there. I know it will have helped me just to have expressed it and get it out, because it's energy and I'm moving it. And I would love it if you could put in the comments if there was anything in this that you took away, that you felt spoke to you, that resonated with you, or anything that you would like to share. Because it's always nice to know if these videos are helping anyone. And I like to try and build a community, which is why we're coming circling to the membership side of stuff and where I want to move forwards, is because I want a community. I want interaction with people. I want to see their transformations. I get so excited seeing people's transformations because I know the effort that they put in to do it, the commitment that it takes, and also the power and courage that it takes to face yourself and move through these things to transform and reclaim your life and rediscover yourself and take those layers, peel those layers back to your truth. And I think that is such a powerful thing, and it's why I do what I do, because I love those so much. So thank you for joining me today. Please do feel free to subscribe if you feel like you are enjoying these videos. Turn on the notification bell to be notified when new videos come out. But most of all, thank you so much for joining me today.